You know, I think it's gonna be a good day today. What? Uh-oh. Imagine, every time you step into the sun, your skin suddenly bursts into flames. Your body engulfed in fire. Forced to live in the shadows and in the moonlight. This is surviving 100 days as a zombie. During my 100 days, I have 3 main goals. I plan to build a beautiful house that keeps me sheltered from the sun and provides everything I need to live. Defeat all the game bosses, including the Elder Guardian, the Ender Dragon, and the Wither. And explore the world more than any zombie ever has. Oh, and additionally, I won't be wearing a helmet for the entirety of the run so that nothing protects me from the sun, giving me an additional challenge, making the run even harder. After waking up as a zombie, I skipped the first 6 steps of grief and went straight to acceptance. It was time to start a new life. I didn't even like being a human anyways. And even though I was a zombie, like all new worlds, I had to start by punching down a tree. I quickly made myself a wood pickaxe so that I could mine stone and craft all my needed stone tools. I wanted to test out how other mobs would react to me. And because I was a zombie, all the mobs around me were pretty chill. After my screenie, I collected more spruce wood, took out some animals for food, some pigs, sheep, fish, and then right after spotted a little cave. So I decided to go in and get some mining done. Grabbing myself some iron and then some coal to cook my raw meat and iron. After some mining, I looked out of the cave and noticed that it was daytime. So I wanted to see how fast my skin would actually catch on fire while in the sun. It seems that I'm on fire right now. And the answer was really fast. The second I touched the sunlight, I caught on fire. Just like me, after I didn't go outside for a week, probably because I was making this video. I decided that I was gonna need a lot more stuff, so I continued caving, giving myself a bunch of different ores for me to smelt up. And with all the iron I picked up in the cave, I was able to create myself a shield, and how do I do this again? Sorry, I mainly play 1.8.9, I don't really know this stuff. Okay, there you go. And then crafted some iron tools. Then I left the cave and grabbed some seeds, and started up a little farm. It wasn't much, but it'll provide in the future. And if I was going to expand my farm later, I was going to need an infinite water source. So I plopped a nice looking one right next to my little farm. But right as I finished that, the sun was coming up, so I had to quickly hide before I was set on fire once again. As I was just chilling in the cave, this creeper was bothering me, and even though it wasn't attacking, I hit it and it exploded. But right after I did that, the other mob started attacking me, which basically tells me that mobs are non-hostile until you hit one, and then they suddenly all become hostile, at least for a small period of time. I couldn't do too much in my little overhead, so I decided to use whatever I had to clean the place up. Clearing up some space to make the area bigger and putting some nice wood walls down, as well as creating a upstairs for myself for later purposes. It wasn't great, but it was looking a bit nicer. The next night I chopped down some trees and worked on my farm, and then used that wood to finish up the outside of my house to prevent any mobs from coming in. I wasn't really sure what direction I wanted to go in with this mountainside house, but I think I had an idea. And with a few seeds my farm gave me, I lured some chickens over into my house so that I could start an indoor chicken farm. Come here, chicken, come here. I imprisoned them in a fence, forced them to breed, and now will live off of countless generations of their family, cause you know, Minecraft. And throughout the series, I'm just gonna continuously improve the house, making it better every few days. I added some stairs to the upstairs area, and added some extra wooden walls as well. In finishing up the day, I crafted a full set of iron armor. Well, minus the helmet, of course. On day 4, I wanted to make a mine inside of my house, since walking to my old cave mine would be too dangerous during the day. I added some stairs for faster travel up and down, and then started to make my mine at Y level 10. After mining, I decided that I was going to settle down in the side of this mountain. And because one of my goals was to create a pretty house, I needed a nice floor. Yeah, this looks pretty snazzy. And once it hit nighttime again, I went out to go find some cows to bring home, since their leather and meat were going to be very valuable during the run. Along the way, however, I was attacked by phantoms. Because I'm a zombie, I can really only go outside of my house during nighttime, so I don't really sleep. So phantoms started attacking. I guess they don't care if I'm a zombie or not, because they wouldn't let up. They just care if I had a good night's rest. I didn't really want to fight them, so I just led the cows into my house and then slept in the middle of the room. On day 5, I dug open an extra area to my house, and then cleaned it up a bit for the cows to live in. Moo. It was still daytime, so I decided to do a bit of mining to see if I could find a lava pool so that I could make a nether portal since I didn't have a diamond pick yet. And on the way down the mine, I actually heard lava. It was kind of hard to find, but once I turned captions on, I was able to find it in no time. And using my expert Minecraft knowledge from doing manhunts with my friends, I was able to make a nether portal with just a bucket of water. I know, I'm really cool. But I wasn't ready for the nether yet. Since it was still nighttime, I decided to go out. I built a makeshift bridge across the river and started to plant some sugarcane, since I was gonna need it for bookshelves later on. After that, I think I was finally ready and started to stack up for the nether. And with that, I stepped into the nether. And I'm in. I took a good look around me, and then started to head out in search of a fortress. There was a lot of stuff I needed from the nether, but right now, my goal was to get blaze rods. And after a few days, I started to feel like I just took a marathon across hell and was starting to lose hope. And honestly, I wanted to find a fortress as fast as possible, because honestly, I hate the nether. I hate this place. But eventually, after a long time, I finally found the fortress. And luckily, right as I hopped down and turned the corner, a blaze spawner was right there for me to go to. The blazes weren't actually attacking me at first because I was a zombie, but as soon as I landed the first strike, all the blazes around me started to shoot fireballs in my direction. But luckily, none of them were any match for my critical hitting iron axe. One of them lit me on fire, but at this point I was kinda just used to it, so I brushed it off and killed it too. I sat there for the next half of the day, waiting for them to spawn and then cleaning them up until I felt like I had enough to never come back here again. Fun fact, I don't like it here. When I came back, it was nighttime, so I wanted to work on my farm, but Phantoms had other plans for me. I used what I had to feed my animals, and then went to go check if they were still there. And they were, just chilling, waiting for me to come out so they could take my head off and eat my eyeballs, or whatever they do. And since I couldn't go back outside, I went back into the nether. No, I don't like it here, but if I was gonna get ender eyes, I needed ender pearls too, so I needed to get some trading done. But look at this, I give you full 24 karat gold bars and all you give back to me is blackstone and obsidian? Absolute scam. I didn't even get anything but like 2 pearls, and also I ran out of gold, so thanks. And since I was out of gold, it was time to go back in the mines. So I went mining and hey, alright, diamonds. First diamonds of the series. Ooh, nice. I'll probably make a sword or an axe out of these. Day 11, I went out to go kill some animals, and wanted some leather to make books out of, so I took out my local horse population in the process. Day 12, I went caving for more diamonds and gold and ran into a mine shaft. Honestly, not anything too special here during my caving, except some ores and seeds from the chests. Coming out of the cave though, I accidentally lit myself on fire since I didn't really know what time it was. And I didn't really feel just like standing around until nighttime, so I made a little farm with the seeds I had. I don't know if I'm ever really gonna see this farm again, since I actually have no clue where I am right now, since I mined straight up randomly, but that doesn't really matter. When I finally got home, I smelted some of my gold and then went out to go trading. This time I got a few more pearls, but still wasn't enough. Give me some pearls, you stupid pigs. On day 13, I did some farm work, and then decided that it was time to start working on my house again. I began working on a little overhead roof for the entrance of my house when the sun suddenly started to come up. I went inside so I wouldn't, die. But right as I did that, a miracle happened, and it started to rain. Honestly, the situation couldn't have been any better. I was so happy, I just started throwing wood and shifting, because that's what you're supposed to do when you're happy in Minecraft. The rain was great though, giving me the extra time to finish up the entrance of my house. Day 14, I took the diamonds I had collected while mining and started crafting it. I made myself a diamond sword and a chestplate, as well as some bookshelves with all the leather and sugarcane I collected from my farms to set up an enchanting room right next to my bed. I didn't have much, but I decided to enchant whatever I had on me at the time, and then decided that just because I couldn't be in the sunlight didn't mean that I couldn't see it. So I made some square windows in my upstairs cave room. Oh yeah, chicken dance. Day 17, I went out to go get some XP for more enchantments, but I made the fatal mistake of trying to pick a fight with an Enderman. Oh no 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 no, go away, go away, go away, go away. Run saved. I'm not doing that again. Luckily, I was able to kill him, but as soon as I did that, the sun came up, meaning that I was gonna have to get home in a not-so-easy way. The next day, I added a nice wooden ceiling to that downstairs area to make it feel more homey, and I think it was looking pretty nice. After getting more XP, I was finally able to enchant my chestplate, and geez, this was actually very solid. But I still needed more XP for my sword, so... And there we go. Nice. Day 22, I went back to the nether with more than a stack of gold, and finally, after 3 trips of trading, I got all of the pearls I needed. Which means I got all the ender eyes that I needed. I also want to keep working on my house, slowly improving it over time, so I decided to make the outside a bit nicer by cleaning up some parts and adding wood to others. And you know, it's not the worst. I think it looks fine, but it can definitely look a lot better later down the line. And I wanted to also add a little garden in front of my house. You know, just add some color to it. I thought the spruce wood was looking kind of bland, so I thought adding a smelting area attached to the side of the house would be really cool. It needs some work though. And work it needed. It was really just detailing and making it look better with different blocks and textures, and I think that in the end it ended up looking not half bad. Also adding a little depth and light to the entrance, just adding detail wherever I could. Day 27, I enchanted some iron tools and went down into the mines for some resources, getting a lot of good ores, including a good amount of diamonds, allowing me to finally create a full set of diamond armor and a diamond pickaxe. Minus the helmet, of course. And bam. Nice. On day 29, I was thinking that the house looked nice, but what it really needed was a big roof. It would just tie the entire place together, and plus it would provide some extra shade for me during the day. And after a day of working, I finished the outlining of it, and while it's not perfect, I think it has some real potential. During the day, I took advantage of the little shade it gave me and placed an anvil in the smelting area, all so that I can name my new pet. I'm pretty sure I picked up the name tag in the mineshaft, and now it's the perfect time to use it. Perfect. Welcome to the family, Fred the Cow. Yeah, Fred. During the next few days, I started to fill in the outline I created for myself. So what did I do today? I hung out with Fred, added some lining to the roof, yeah, and added some structural support. Yeah, I added some spruce logs to give my roof some structural support. Since gravity doesn't actually apply to sand and gravel, cause I don't know why, Notch just hates sand I guess. I don't really need to hold up my roof, but it just looks kinda weird having a roof that looks like it's gonna fall over. And after finishing up, I think the roof and the structural support made the house look really nice. During that same night, I also wanted to work on the stairs, to the area where I farmed sugarcane and killed mobs. It ended up looking pretty nice, but I had to start working on it later, since it's kind of hard to build while on fire. And Fred, here's some wheat. The next night, I went out to go get some wood and kill some mobs, but on my way, I found some wolves. And with just a single bone, I made a new friend. And as I walked around the corner, I found another wolf, and luckily he just needed 2 bones to be tamed. Absolutely perfect. I wasn't really sure where to put them, so I had one of them just chill with me on the bed, and the other one be downstairs and guard the chests. Because the one downstairs was guarding the chests, I think he also deserved a good home, so I extended the cave area so that he had his own little place. Bridge time. It's not an amazing bridge, but I think it gets the job done, and it looks pretty clean. Nice. And then I crafted up some yellow dye and wool to make some yellow carpet for my dog to sit on. And I know it may seem like I'm playing favorites here, but I only have 1 name tag, so I'm gonna give it to the doggy downstairs. I mean, to be fair, he is the one protecting all of my valuables. I really like the yellow carpet, so I named him something to match his carpet, but it was difficult deciding on what colon face I wanted. I ended up not going with any colon face at all, and just pineapple though. Have some steak, pineapple. Ah. On day 38, I finished up the bridge and extended my stairs to be 2 blocks wide. Also, I was about to die, so time to go. On day 39, I went mining again, and honestly, that's not important. But what is important is that somehow I ended up in the exact same place from when I went mining days ago. I have no clue how I ended up here, but nice. Unfortunately though, I guess my plants didn't receive any sunlight at all, so they hardly even grew. Well, hopefully that should open up enough sunlight for my boys. I'll see you guys at the end of the series. And when I got back, I went to go check on the zombie villager I captured earlier off camera, but sadly, it must have despawned. Seriously? My armor was getting worn down and I was in need of mending, so I was feeling pretty upset about it. So upset, in fact, that I just started running north, or whatever direction this is. And I wasn't going to stop until I found a new village to get more villagers to trade with. Honestly, I was considering just turning back because I wasn't finding any luck and I was in the middle of a forest, until somehow I came across a village while running in the sun, while trying not to die. I slowly made my way over to the villagers, but they just ran away from me. And I know I'm a zombie, but come on, I didn't even do anything yet. Seriously, everyone I approached just dipped. No one would even consider trading with me. I don't know, maybe I'm just dumb and don't know something about villagers, but to me, it seems like these villagers just hate me. I seriously don't get it. Even the iron golems are totally okay with me. The villagers are just tripping or something. Hey, wake up! Trade with me! Honestly, I was getting even more upset. First, my zombie villager despawns, and after I finally find a village, these guys won't even trade with me. So how about this? No more doors, guys. Yeah, good luck without doors, guys. Good luck living. And as soon as I did that, there was already a zombie villager. And now they're even spreading it to each other. It's not my fault though. They started it. But no, I wasn't done. Just to stick it to them, I also made a flint and steel, and... yeah, that's right. Not my fault though. Well, it's time to head home. Hey, Pineapple. Hey, he left me something. Thanks. The next day, I made an extra room above the second story. Not really sure what I'm gonna do with it, but I'm gonna do... something. Just gonna clear out this little area, and bam! Super secret bunker. And the next day, I mined up some granite so that I can make a nice path to my house. And I think it looks pretty good. Also, here's the chicken farm. Haven't really shown you guys it in a while. Kind of out of hand at the moment. I also wanted to enchant my axe, and I was hoping for a bit more, but Unbreaking 3 is fine. I'll just add more later. So I went out to farm more XP, and at this point in the run, Endermen were only half the problem they used to be. Which, with all the XP, allowed me to enchant a very powerful Flame and Unbreaking 3 bow. And I was even able to get a Book of Sharpness 3, which then allowing me to enchant my Diamond Axe with Sharpness 3, making it the most powerful weapon in all of Minecraft. Also, I named it PP Creek, because, I don't know, I thought it was funny at the time. Ooh, and also I went mining, and hey, more diamonds. Cool. The next day, I looked at my very pretty house, and then I ran to the back of it. Because I didn't really feel like fighting mobs anymore for XP, so I decided to make a mob grinder in the back of my house. Freaking phantoms. Alright, let's build this thing. Honestly, I haven't built one of these in years, so I'm not really sure if I'm even doing this right, but I'll figure it out on the way. This actually took a very long time, but now looking back at the footage, it's kind of boring, so I'm just gonna skip all of the technicalities and boring parts of making this mob grinder. And with that little time lapse over, or whatever you guys just saw, it's done. There it is, it's over. Bam, it's cool. I even made a little path from my mine entrance so that I could stay indoors while I grind XP. Alright, I'm just gonna throw down some hoppers and chests, and there we go. I think we have a working mob farm. And after all of that, I finally had enough XP to get myself a fire aspect book. Except I can't apply it to my axe, even though I looked it up earlier and said I was allowed to. Bruh, okay, so apparently, depending on the wording I type into Google, the answer varies. So I guess PP Creek won't be setting anyone on fire anytime soon. And even though I was pretty disappointed by this, it didn't really matter because I already had my next objective. And it was finally time to free the end. I chopped down some trees for the upcoming adventure, and on my way back, I made a piece of art. Ah, beautiful. Alright, Pineapple, enough stalling, let's do this. I got all of my gear ready and then sent the first eye flying. I kept following the eyes, and on the way I found some cool places that I've never been to before on my run yet. Eventually, after all of that, my eye took me to the top of this hill. Come on, where is it? Nice. The eye went straight down, and it was apparent that I was standing right over the stronghold. And just like that, we were in. Strongholds are pretty cool because I get all of this free loot, and the library is always nice to visit. But I can never find the portal. I spent days trying to find the portal, until eventually, after circling the stronghold so many times, I finally found it. Finally, it was time. Except it wasn't. So you see, right when I got to the portal, I decided to take a break and watch the Suns vs Clippers playoff game. So I guess now you know the timeline in which this is being recorded. And when I went back into the game, I accidentally recorded the wrong monitor. So the entire fight is just a paused image of the game. Oh my god. Bruh. And I was pretty frustrated after this, until I remembered that I could just revive the dragon and slay it once more for your entertainment. And it was pretty simple too, all I needed was 4 end crystals and I could revive him. So I headed off to the nether and quickly took out a few gas for their tears. Also, they make like the worst mob sound when they get hit. I hate it. I collected some blaze rods and I crafted them all together and bam, it was just like we never left. Alright, you stupid dragon. Get ready for round 2. They call me Deadshot Danny because I don't miss. Bam. Bam. Alright, I just missed and almost just tossed the entire run. And with the last crystal broken, it was time to start hitting. And luckily, all of my preparations were worth it as my Sharp 3 Diamond Axe was doing massive damage. Uh-oh. And that would have probably ended the run if I wasn't an MLG clutch god, but I am. It's a good thing I'm just the best. I smacked him up some more and he ran away like an absolute weenie. Hey bro, this is for you. Yeah. No, look at it. Yeah, it's for you. You see this? For you. And now look, I'm teabagging your child. What are you gonna do about it? Do something. He's taking a while to land, so hey bud, here's another L for you. And here's another one. Shit. Alright, it seems like he's had enough of this, but so have I. How does it feel going 2-0, pal? Oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you over you exploding into nothingness. And we're back. Hey Fred. Hey dog. Oh, and I have the perfect place for the egg as well. And I think it looks great. The L could be made out of gold or something, but later. The next day I headed to the nether because the end portal was far from my house. So I needed to make a nether path so I could get to the end portal a lot faster. I imported the quartz into a calc online, so getting to the correct position wasn't very hard. Plus, fortunately, it didn't take too long, and just like that, I was right there. And we back. Now, the reason I came all the way back to the end was to find an end city, because I really wanted to find an elytra and a dragon head. Since elytras would be super helpful for the last part of this run, and I also wanted to disrespect the dragon even more. Because why not? And now, watch this epic speed bridge. I know, I'm cool. And now all we gotta do is throw a pearl in here, and we get TP'd in. But unfortunately, I didn't really come prepared enough because I didn't have the needed blocks to cross the islands. So it was back to the nether to get all the blocks I needed. And now let's do a bridge montage, cause why not? It's cool, probably. I don't know, I'm scripting right now, not editing. I know all this isn't in the video, but just know that this is taking a super long time to collect all the blocks and bridge. And I can't even speed bridge, cause if I fall, the run ends, but yeah. Probably something like that would have happened, except, you know, over the void. But after a few days, I finally found an end city. I was super excited, killing all these shulkers, looting the city, but unfortunately, I later realized that this city didn't have a ship. You see, elytras are only found in end city ships, but not all end cities have ships, so I was just out of luck. But after leaving, just a few minutes later, I came across what looked to be like a ship in the distance. But after closer inspection, it was most definitely what we were looking for. I killed the shulker guarding the elytra and picked up the elytra along with some really good tools and weapons. The sword even had mending on it. Oh, and end ships also have dragon heads, which is super important. And after collecting everything I needed, it seemed like my adventure in the end was over, and it was time to go home. Until the literal next day, and I was already off on my next adventure. Also, when I came back into the mod, my game mods were turned off for some reason, so I was a normal human again. And I forgot how everything around you just wants to kill you at nighttime. But anyways, soon after, we set sail to find a temple. I guess a bonus of being a zombie is that I have night vision when above water, so I can basically see everything down below, allowing me to find cool places like that. And as the sun was starting to come up, I found a village in the glacier biome. I think that's what it's called. But unfortunately, there wasn't much use for me at this village, since no villagers would trade with the zombie, and it wasn't much use, so, at least I didn't burn this one down. I set off once again, and ran into some sunken ships, and out of the 4 I came across, only one of them had a buried treasure map. I was on my way to the treasure, except the sun came up and I started burning alive, so I had to swim the rest of the way there. Luckily though, when I did arrive, it didn't take me too long to find the buried treasure. It really wasn't much though. There was a diamond in the heart of the sea, but I'll take it. And not too long after that, I finally found an ocean temple. However, I was hit with mining fatigue as soon as I got there, so I couldn't even break into the temple. Luckily, I remembered some cows on the way here, so I milked them to get rid of the mining fatigue. I thought taking out the Elder Guardian was gonna be easy, since zombies don't need to breathe underwater, but him and his minions were doing a lot more damage than I thought they would. The Guardians weren't that aggressive though, and didn't attack as soon as I was behind the wall, allowing me to heal up and take out his minion striking from behind the corner. And after repeating that same strategy of hitting and hiding, I slowly wear them down until death, finally killing 2 out of the 3 bosses. And now all that there was left to do after killing their boss was steal everything they had, and even their light bulbs, and never look back. Oh, and on the way back home I found a dark oak forest, which is pretty cool since I haven't seen any of them yet. When I finally got back home, I planted the bamboo that I got from one of the chests during my water adventure, and then headed to the nether to gather the materials to finish the final boss. It was time to summon the Wither, which in my opinion is more challenging of a boss than the Ender Dragon. And after a few days in the nether with my looting sword and getting withered like 50 times, I got all the heads I needed to finally create the Wither. On day 83, I thought it would be a good idea to actually do something with my super secret bunker, so I made it my potion room. I wasn't entirely sure what direction I wanted to go with the style of this room, but I wanted to keep the walls the same to make it feel like I was still on the side of the mountain, and use stone brick for the actual potion area. And after a bit of building, I think it turned out quite nice. Throw some nether warts in there, then throw a little fire powder in there, and it turned into awkward potions into strength, which in my opinion is the strongest potion in the entire game when it comes to PvP, perfect for defeating the final boss. Well, I guess that makes sense, strength is the strongest potion. Okay, yeah. And I know a lot of people like to fight the Wither in the sky, but I feel like it would be a lot easier to fight them in my mind. So I dug out a small area in my mind and got my final preparations ready for the fight. Honestly, I haven't fought the Wither in a very long time, so I don't know how this was gonna go. Alright, let's do this. After avoiding his first explosion, I started to go in. The hardest part about this though was getting withered every time I went in for a hit. And I didn't want to drink my milk because the potion of strength I had would disappear. But the withering was doing too much damage, so I had to put it out. I didn't have too much milk on me, so I felt my best option was to hit him with a bow or strike around the corners to avoid getting withered. Luckily, the tunnels that I dug out earlier were working really well, allowing me to take cover after every hit. But the explosions were just doing way too much, and my cover was getting blown away bit by bit. I ran upstairs to get more milk, but I was taking way too long, and he began to heal. With my cover gone, I had to rely on my shield, as I kept switching back and forth from shield to axe. It seemed like he got himself stuck in the ceiling, giving me the perfect opportunity to get some good hits in. I was still scared of getting hit by an explosion, so I had to constantly dance around him to keep myself safe. I finally got him to half health, but that also meant that he gained armor that deflected my arrows. I was forced to get up in his face and face him like a man. It was risky, but I had to get close to get all the good crits in. The scariest part was how he was blowing up everything, and I was scared by how close he was to my house. Some skeletons joined the fight, even though arrows were useless against them, but they were still providing a distraction, I think. And after a few more good hits, it was over. Whew, he really made a mess of my mind. The 100 days were almost up, and I didn't really need a beacon, so I knew the perfect place for the Nether Star. Yeah, looks good to me. As the series was coming to an end, I wanted to finish up my base, and because I had diamond horse armor and a saddle, I thought making a house for a new horse would accomplish both goals. Flying around with my elytra made things a lot easier, but it was taking me more than an entire day just to find one horse. Bruh, the sun's coming up. I didn't think I was gonna find a horse anytime soon, until somehow I actually found one on this random island I decided to fly to. It might have took a while, but I eventually found some. There were so many geese. By the way, that's what multiple horses should be called, like gooses is geese, horses, geese. Alright, don't leave me comments about that. Oh, and daytime, so I will see you at night. There were a few horses, so my plan was to ride each one, test their jump height, and then stick them in a hole. Then, after all the testing was complete, I would choose one. They all had similar height, but there was clearly a fastest one. And even though its overall health was kind of low, it was extremely fast, so I chose this one. Except my house was like extremely far away, and the ocean was in the way, so this might take a while to get home. But because I wasn't, over the void, I felt a lot more confident about speed bridging, so it didn't take too long to cross. Nice. On the way up the mountain, we also found some pillagers. And keeping the high ground with my bow, it was going well. Until... Luckily, there was water to break our fall. What? Don't shoot my fucking horse. I'd say your prayers, monkeys. I had enough of these fools. To be fair, they started it. Uh-oh. We eventually made it home, but because I didn't have a place for my horsey, I just fenced them off with the giant L. Please don't blow up. And then I went out to get wood for my final build. And I don't know how I was really feeling about this shape. I wanted to come out, but also have the entrance regress into itself. It'll need some work. And yeah, I think this shape works. So now I just gotta add a roof and some detailing, and it'll look pretty solid. I want to keep the same style as the main house, but at the same time change up the shape and the roof. And I think it's all starting to come together. Also, I added a little path from my main house to my side area. Thought it looked a little nice. And I think it looks pretty good. It's not perfect, but it fits the theme, and I think it really ties the whole build together. And now it's time to find a new horse. And you may be like, oh, didn't you just spend like 5 days looking for a horse? And yeah, until I forgot to remove the wither roses, and then my horse got stuck in them and died. Anyways, looking for my new horse, I decided to go in a different direction than the last time I found one. And literally within 5 minutes, I found a new team of horses not far off of my house. I tested a few and decided on this one because it was decently fast, not as fast as the one who died to wither roses, and kinda pretty. Also, while I was trying to make it over the hill, I almost died in the process, so that was cool. I led them into the stable, and with that, I had completed my final adventure. I completed all of the goals I set for myself in the beginning of this run, and perfect timing too, because it just hit 100 days. Somehow, despite everything we've been through, I survived 100 days. And not just survived, but I thrived, accomplishing everything I set off to do. And yeah, I think we accomplished a lot in this 100-day adventure. And who knows how well this video will do, but if you did enjoy, then I would really appreciate a like and a sub. Planning to do a lot more MC content coming up. I do really want to thank you for coming on this adventure with me. If you did enjoy, then I would appreciate a like and sub. And with that, this is me and Pineapple's goodbye. At least, for now. See ya.